Hello and welcome back to a kooky corner of YouTube. I have been absent for a few weeks. That is because it's been annual holiday time, and I did put up one video to run while I was away, which is a very short video. Next year I'll probably be a much more organised person and get it all in advance so that you won't miss me so much. I know you did. Little hearts to the people who missed me. But yes, been away for a couple of weeks, went to beautiful places such as Croatia and Greece, and just lovely warm places, very warm places. But I'm off again this weekend to a festival which I'm looking forward to. Every year go to the same festival. Well, for the past few years I've gone to the same festival, and it's called Beautiful Days, and it's at Escott House in Exeter, or close to Exeter. It's Ottery St Mary actually, and we're going to see some lovely bands. So we're going to see the Lovelies, whose festival it is. They are like the organisers of the festival. Getting to see some really good bands like the Dandy Warhols and Maximo Park, one of my favourites. So yes, that's going to be this weekend. So dubious as to whether I'll get a video up for Tuesday. I will try, but yeah, we'll see how we go with that. So I'm going to do one today for you. I will be away again when this video goes out because we're setting off to get to the festival ground, so I won't be around, but I'll be here in spirit. So for today I thought something simple. I have this lovely Pantone Communicating with Colour book that I've had for years and years, and it's a very useful book, but what it does have in it, which I find really useful, is colour schemes. So it's a great book kind of for advertising, speaking colour. If any of you are interested in going through some kind of a colour symbolism kind of thing, I might be up for doing some of that as well, and then doing some artwork based on it. Let me see if I can take you up a little bit further so we can see this. Oh, got you on a tilt, sorry guys. There we go. So in the back of this you can see all these beautiful colour schemes going on, and obviously it goes through all the different colours and which ones are used for which things in advertising or in artwork, etc., and cultural backgrounds and things. But I thought we could find a colour scheme, and I will do an abstract based on the colours from that colour scheme, or colours thereabouts in that area. I'm not quite sure what I'm feeling at the minute, so colour combination. Sorry, I'm rattling my brushes. Rattling my brushes. That would be me as a ghost, wouldn't it? I wouldn't be rattling chains, I'd be ooh, it's me, a ghosty pal. Rattling on my brushes. Yeah, so this is Serene. Not sure if I'm feeling serene at the minute. Earthy. Definitely feeling earthy at the minute. I've had complete change around in things that I'm wearing at the minute, and so I'm definitely drifting towards September and autumn with all the earthy tones and things that I'm enjoying wearing at the minute. So that's a possibility. Let's keep that one in mind. Mellow, no. Muted, that's not me, is it? Let's be honest. Let's be honest here. I don't think I'm a very muted person. I can be sometimes, but not feeling it today. Capricious. Am I capricious? No, I'm not. Spiritual? I like that. I love purple, so that's one of my favourites, but I'm still not feeling that. I'm not feeling romantic. No, not sensual. Powerful? No, not feeling that. Elegant? Definitely not that. Ooh, robust. That's quite nice. I'm quite liking that. Let's go on. I know there are more of these delicate. I'm not that. Playful? Yeah, sometimes I'm not feeling that at this point in time. Energetic also, but again, no. Traditional, no, not me. Classic, no, not me. Festive, I like festive, that's cool, but again, I think you know where I'm going with this, don't you? See, I like the warms, I'm liking those, so I think I'm feeling like warm and earthy at the minute. That's nice, also a bit too zingy for now. I'm liking the uniques, these are nice. Do I feel earthy or do I feel unique? I feel earthy and unique, so that's going to be a difficult one. Lots of uniques to go through. You know what? I'm going to be honest, and I'm feeling earthy. So let's have a look and see which one of these beautiful combinations I could go with. It's really cool because it does give you Pantone colours. I'm not going to be working with those obviously, but if you're working on like Photoshop or something, that's a handy thing to know because it's got the Pantone colours. What am I feeling for an abstract? I'm kind of feeling this one. I'm kind of feeling this one here. You see that one? Let's go down a bit. This one, and that's a bit too samey, that one there. It's too blended. I like something with a bit of contrast into it. That one works. But do you know what? Let's go that one, shall we? I like that one. It's like a rust and like a rusty orange, and then this really cool green. So I'm going to gather my art supplies because I'm going to do a mixed media abstract piece based on these three colours here, which is Pantone 167 if you want to know, Pantone 3975 and Pantone 484. So let's go with that one. I'm going to get my bits. I'll be back in a second. So I'm back with a selected amount of supplies. I had to stop myself from grabbing out everything off my shelves because I've got so much stuff, but I still came back with a hefty amount of stuff. So we have some Eco Line inks. This one is does it give me a name? Probably not. Got to be somewhere. Oh well, we got these, and we got. I'm going on the bottles, so this is kind of like an orangey colour. We've got a green, and I pulled out like an ochre colour as well. I grabbed out these from my Deco Cream PBO acrylics. These are matte acrylics, so those are quite nice. I have got a whole handful of golden fluid colours here that match in kind of with the vibe. I have got 3 Poscas in similar-ish colours. I've got some Neocolor ones that match in. And finally, well, it might not be finally because you know me. The magpie really needs to add in other things. I've got these aquarelle colours. These are the Caran d'Ache Museum aquarelle colours, the pencils, and those are kind of giving me the vibes of what I need. Cinnamon and raw umber and crimson aubergine, yellow ochre, Payne's grey and terracotta. So they kind of fit in with the vibes. So I'm going to pop all those pencil things into this bit here to contain those. Right. So I've got my cardi paper. This is, I can't even remember what size it is, so let's do a little measure-oo. Centimetres wise, it is, I think it's 15 by 15 or thereabouts. Yeah, thereabouts 15 by 15. Inch wide, it's about 6 inches by 6 inches. So whichever measurement scheme you use, then I'm sure you can find something similar if you want to paint along with me. Right, so let's get into this earthy abstract. And put off on one side. I've got my little pot of brushes. I've got some water that's looking slightly dodgy. I might go and clean the water. Back in a second. Okay, right, get my brushes. What am I feeling at the minute? Let's go this boy. So let's go straight in with that green gold. I'm liking this. I'm not giving myself much room. Let's put that there for a minute. I'll water that down a little bit. This is one of the golden fluid acrylics, and it's giving me the vibe that I'm liking at the minute. And the cardie paper is really good. I like this paper so much. It's very absorbent, but it's got like lots of texture to it as well, which is really quite nice. I'm sorry if I'm jogging you around a little bit. Okay, there's my trusty cleaning rag. It's not very aesthetically pleasing, but it does the job. Okay, some of this yellow ochre. I'm liking that. It's nice. Definitely giving me the vibes I'm wanting here. Let me put that palette out of the way. See, I would be a very noisy ghost. You'd be able to tell it was me. Oh, she's here again, rattling her brushes. Ooh, this is the nickel azo gold. These are all golden colours that I'm using at the minute, the golden fluid acrylics, and I'm just living for them. Golden fluid acrylics are great. They're so pigmented, and they like last for ages until you need to like get a replacement of any kind. So that's why I'm loving them. Which is this one? This is like an ochre colour. Slapping on that paint. I'm also feeling I might need to have some kind of contrast just to uplift some of this, because some of the colours are so similar. I don't know if I actually ought to shake this first. I'll give it a little shake. Okay, I'm liking that. Let's drag some of that on there. See if it blends in. Oh, it does. It's nice. It's nice. Putting this on. So I hope you've all had a very lovely August. As I say, I've been away for a lot of August because typically it has been a holiday time. But now I am freed up to take my holidays whenever I like. Typically I have been tied to term time, and now I am not. So my holiday now can be whenever I want it to be, which is awesome. Okay, I've got some of this lighter green here. I'm quite liking that, how it's gone down actually. I might just leave it like that. It's giving me the earthy vibes I was looking for anyway. I have got some soft body Naphthol Crimson. This is a Liquitex one. I got this as a freebie, so I might just stick a bit of this into the mix. This is some contrast. That's working quite well with that ochre colour. The cardie paper, the one I'm using, is not too thick, so it will bubble up a little bit as you use it. As it dries, it will start to contain itself a bit. And you can see I'm not really thinking much about this. This is a pure abstract. I'm just going at it, seeing what we get. This is a really good thing to do if you're suffering with art block. I know some people do suffer where they get scared of the paper and not sure what to do with it and not sure how to proceed when you have a blank piece of paper in front of you. So just playing around with supplies is great. You can see how things work together. I'm purely experimenting here. I know I've got colours that are of a colour scheme that I've been working to, which is also a good way to kind of give yourself some constraints without giving yourself constraints. This one is a rich bronze, so this is going to be like a metallic-y colour, I think. Might swap brushes for this one. Let's have a look. Ooh, that's nice. Add some of this in. So yeah, if you find not everybody's got my Pantone book, but if you go onto Pinterest, you can type in colour schemes or colour palettes, and you get a whole host of things that you can use as a colour palette. Conversely, if you've got some pictures and you find you've got one that you really like of photographs that you've taken, you can convert it into Pantones. There is an app, not sure what it's called, but there is one around. And you can convert that into a Pantone and make your own colour scheme, and then just run around your house gathering gathering the things that you want to use in your piece, and just play with it. Just play like you did when you were in nursery school, where you used to be proud of everything that you made. Oh, I like the way that's bleeding in. That's quite nice. Yeah, that can continue. See, I dragged all these things out, but I don't think I'm actually going to use all of them. I think I'm just going to pick and choose the different things I want to use in my piece. Quite like the texture of the brush on that one. It's separated out into... See if I can drag it along here and see. Oh yeah, like that. Very textured. Let's have a bit more of this ochre colour here. I'm going to go off on a tangent. Mix that green, that's quite nice. And then I'm going to... Ooh, I know what I've got. I've got one of these. Magenta. Let's see what this Quin red's like. Oh, that's nice. It just pops out. You know when you shake up a bottle and then literally everything splurts out? Well, basically that's just what happened. But I'm going to roll with it. It's all good. Ooh, I like that. It kind of fits in with my theme. It's like a berry colour, adding a nice contrast. So I'm just going to do some mark making now. I didn't bother doing the background because I just wanted this to be some kind of playful play around with some art materials, using the edge of my brush to get these marks going on. And you know I love florals. I'm always doing florals in my pieces. I've been really into doing my abstracts at the moment, so I've got quite a few of those that will be going in my shop when I do an update sometime in September, I think, at the minute. Really sort of busy until September, so I think September's the time I'm going to settle down and do a little update in my shop of some of the things that I've been making when I've had time this month. As I say, it's been a crazy busy month. And let's add some of these in here. Okay. I'm not waiting for anything to dry at the minute. I'm just playing with it and seeing how the colours work together. So I've got a nice round brush here somewhere. Said hopefully. Maybe I don't have a nice round brush. I do. So I'm going to slightly water down that red that I just was using. So I want to play with getting some petally shapes on. Turn your piece. You know, sometimes if you turn it, you get a different view. So I'm just going to go around this, getting some petals on this ochre coloured centre. Whoopsie. Try not to lose a piece when you're painting on it. Kind of helpful to keep it in one place. Let's just go that way, it's easier. I'm quite liking this at the minute. It's very relaxing, very restful. I'm not really concerned about the outcome. I'm just playing with it. And that is making me happy. So this little guy down here could do with some of the petal treatment as well, I think. Maybe I'll give it some green petals. Let's water down some of that green. This is a green gold from Golden again. I don't know which way to do this. That way. Let's go that way this time. I'll start with some of this lovely green gold. Really beautiful colour. Fits perfectly with the theme that we picked out of that Pantone book. I say we, I mean me, but you were with me. You were there. We did it together. I'm going to blame you if it turns out wrong. No, I'm not. Seriously. Nothing can go wrong with a piece that you're playing around with. You can always change it, alter it. I'm going to add some leafy bits onto here because I'm liking the way that looks at the minute. And hopefully that green will start to flow into the other one. We'll get some abstracty plant things going on here. Oh yeah, quite like that. That's cool. This could also do with something. So I'm going to go back to that nice reddy magenta colour. And then petal away. As I say, there's something very relaxing about this. Kind of moments where you're not having to think too hard about anything. That's cool. I'm liking that. Right. I am going to add a little bit more of this darker Azo gold in. Lovely colour. Really like that. It's giving me autumn vibes, so it can stay. And it's mixing in really well with the other colours. Okay. I think I want to add in some more of these little green fronds, but what I'm not going to do is trail the green on with the little pipette. I'm going to use my small brush. I'm going to try and attempt to draw some more of these lines in. You can hear that dog barking in the background. We have a couple of dogs around here. I don't know if they're left out in the daytime, which is a bit of a worry to me. But I'd love to know what they look like, these dogs, because we kind of have a vision of them in our house of what they might look like. And we have the big dog that's the Yorp, Yorp, Yorp dog that you can hear at the minute. And we've also got a little dog that joins in occasion, and he's the Yap Yap dog. So we'll start off with a Yorp, 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 and then it'll be Yip, 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 Yip. Sorry if I just hurt your ears. But yes, kind of sad for them if they are left out all day with nowhere to shelter, because that would be horrible and horrific. So I'm hoping that they've got little kennels that they can go and escape into if they need to. Okay, I'm liking these little florally, leafy doos. I'll add some more in this green gold. Didn't quite go to where it wanted to be, that's okay. Tilt it in. Water that green down a little bit more. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed your August time. Very quickly the nights are starting to get a bit darker and we're drifting into autumn. And I don't know if you've been watching anything on the TV. I haven't really much watched anything, but I did start watching something yesterday which I'm in love with, and it is Netflix version of The Sandman, the Neil Gaiman comic book series. I'm adoring it. I'm loving it. I've only seen one episode so far, but I wish I could just have the time to sit down and binge it, because it is, well, it's shaping up to be awesome. It's got everything in it that I like. So I'm kind of loving it at the minute. A little squirrel in that. Not a squirrel, a squirrel. And I think I'm going to leave that like that just to dry off, and then I'll come back in with some of the Neo colours and pencils in a minute. Okay, so it's slightly dry. I've just pulled out my iridescent copper, so I'd like to add a little bit of this in. Give it a shake, it will pop out the top as it usually does. I'll just scoop some off there, because I want to add in some coppery bobbles. That's what I'm going to call them anyway. So yeah, along with the Sandman, which I'm really getting into, the other thing I want to see is the Netflix version of the Addams Family, which a lot of people have said they will not watch because it doesn't have the vibes. Oh yeah, there's a Yap Yap dog now. We've got the Yarp Yarp and the Yap Yap both going at it now. Yeah, so a lot of people said they don't want to watch it because it's not the original, and they have questions about who has been cast in the roles. I think there's always going to be that. If you have your favourite programme and it gets remade or film, there are always going to be people who don't want to engage with it because it is never going to match up. I have to admit, I am kind of one of those people when it came to one film and one film only, and that was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And I could not, even though it was one of my favourite people playing Willy Wonka, still could not get over the fact that I loved Gene Wilder in that role. I still couldn't quite accept Johnny Depp in it, but I'll say you have to give these things a try, and I'm definitely going to be watching The Addams Family. I think Catherine Zeta-Jones is playing Morticia, so that looks an interesting role, so interested in watching that as well. So that's going to be two of my programs coming up pretty shortly for what I want to watch. So everything's still not quite dry. I've just gone back in a little too quickly maybe. I'm thinking I need something else. This orange is a bit too orange. Maybe I'll have a look at what I can do with my Neo colours on that in a minute when it's properly dry. So we'll come back in a second. Okay, so I found this. This is an Amsterdam acrylic, which is an Azo Yellow Light. So I might use a little bit of that. And I've also found this. It's an iridescent green yellow, which will fit in perfectly, but add a little bit of shine. So I'm going to pop some of that in my palette over here, and a little bit of this yellow. See what I can do with that. Scourge it out. So round brush, and I'm going to try and put some little yellowy flowers over here. Just add in a little bit of interest. Now this yellow is a semi-transparent, so you're going to be able to see through it. So adding these in. I can take the yellowness down a little bit with my pencils when I get to them. Taking down some of that green a bit. And adding some details up here. Any marks that you make, you tend to find ones that you use more often than not. I do. I've found my marks. When you're doodling, just take a mindful eye after you finish doodling, obviously, to what you've doodled, and those tend to be your marks. So I do tend to draw a lot of flowers. I do tend to have a lot of lines and swirls and stars generally, and that's what crops up in my work more often than not. Right, where was that iridescent-y green? It's like a yellowy green colour. Where am I going to put it? I was going to stick it on this orange, wasn't I? Just add in some interest. Kind of looks a bit like a snake. I'm feeling it looks snaky. I love that about abstracts. You never know what's going to crop up when you do them. And I appear to have got a snake. Yeah, don't be scared to do whatever you want to do on this. It's your piece of work. You can pick whichever colours you like. As I say, these are the ones I was feeling today. But finding out your colour scheme is a good way of narrowing down what colours you like, so you don't make costly mistakes when it comes to buying equipment or art supplies. If you know you don't use certain colours, then you know you can't really push yourself to use them. You can drift into them. I've drifted into lots of colours that I never thought I would use, but it's taken time. and just sometimes just trying something new out of your comfort zone takes you in completely different ways. But use the colours that you love, and then you'll obviously start to adapt new things in as you play around with your art supplies. Okay, so this is now dry. I am going to grab some of my Posca pens and start adding in some more details. A bit more mark making. And I've got this brown one. That's a darker colour. I need to get some more darks in here. But that's where my trusty pencils and Caran d'Ache will come in. Don't need too much. I might add some orange into these little flowers with the near colour ones. Just to knock down the yellow a little bit. And let's have a look at pencils now. This is kind of a nice one. It's Payne's Grey. It's not a black, but it gives you that darkness that sometimes you might want to add in to get some contrast going on. So I'm just adding some around this big first area that I painted. And I kind of think I want a bit of white in here, so I will grab my favourite white at the minute, which is this one. This is the High Flow Titanium White from Golden. It is awesome for adding in details. So I'll pop a little bit on my palette. It's very fluid. It's much more fluid than the fluid acrylics. It's High Flow. Let me find my tiny brush and get some of those little white details in. It's also great if you make a mistake, obviously not on this paper so much, but on a whiter paper, and it still works on this as well, but on a whiter paper you can nearly never see where you made the mistake in the first place. It's very opaque. A great highlight adder, also for adding in or for lightening any of your other acrylic paints. It doesn't really take much. As I say, it's super pigmented, and one of my favourites. As I said, I think the next time I get it, I get a bigger tub of it, presuming they do them in bigger ones. It's one of the smallest ones that Golden do, and I just wanted to try it out and see how well it actually did the job, and it does the job well, people. Let me say, it does the job well. So let's add in some ziggy zaggies. I also like to add those in as well. It's looking more snake-like now, this. I actually held a snake, actually a couple of snakes. I don't know if I mentioned this in previous videos, but I actually held the boa constrictor. It was It was lovely. I fell in love with it. I've never been really a big snaky, reptile-y person, but I did want a snake after holding this particular snake that I held. That was quickly vetoed in our house. I wasn't allowed to get a snake. But I can dream of a snake I might own one day. Okay, so now I'm just going to add a little bit into this central piece here, just to add a little bit of balance to all those lighter areas. And I'm going to call that done. And that's as simple as it is. Grab all your art supplies, find a colour scheme that you like, grab all the art supplies that match in with your colour scheme and just play with the colours. Hope you have a fabulous weekend. I certainly will be having a fabulous weekend as you watch this. I already have started my fabulous weekend, so pray for not too much rain. I don't mind if it rains a little bit, but hopefully it will stay not too hot, not too cold, and not too much rain. Have a great weekend. Bye.